so long it's like alchemy.
All right, well, with the first seed locked up, back end of a back-to-back, Steve Kerr electing to rest Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala. Young P-Mac would get the start against a tanking Suns team with basically one NBA player in Devin Booker. So let's get into it. And y'all must be fooling yourselves if you don't think these guys don't know about their stats. Steph only 16 points last game while Klay had 40, so this was kind of like Steph's turn. He came out very aggressive against Tyler Ulis, who's like a Kroger version of Isaiah Thomas, and then you see him get P-Mac the little layup here, but Steph, it was all about him early and often. And then Klay feeling himself, tries Steph's move behind the back, Booker rips him, and then this is what you like about this kid. He's got no chill, no fear, 3-ball in Klay's eye, yellow on yellow crime. Klay pulls up, and then McAdoo climbs the invisible ladder. Maybe the most spectacular play we've seen from James Michael McAdoo in a Warriors uniform. And then I don't know if Phoenix has a defensive scheme or what, but Len gets completely lost, and Curry continues to cook. This was one of many bad falls that really had me nervous in a game that had no ramifications, no meaning. You see Steph in pain, and he's just been landing awkwardly. I don't know why. This is a nice pass by Klay. This time looks like his feet slip out from under him at the end, and again, he appears to be in pain, and they got me sitting at home just nervous, like, man, this dude don't even need to be playing right now. I know that's how y'all felt as well. Regardless, he kept on cooking. Look at him switching to 2K mode, flicks the ISO motion stick. Just not fair. Eventually pulls up when he wants to, just toying with the Suns' bigs. And then I'm telling you, JaVale McGee's had enough, man. He's had enough. Look at him come in. He's like, I'm resting my nuts on everybody's neck. I'm telling you, JaVale turned up for the playoffs a little bit out of control. Steph, welcome to the league. Tyler Ulis, just too small, elevates in his face. And then this to end the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? When you're good, luck tends to happen. The lob to McGee, no, it's off glass. The bank is open in Phoenix for S-Dot. And it's a 40-point first quarter. Second quarter, though, Devin Booker decides to start pulling the trigger, man. And everybody knows about the 70 points. And look at this, that's deep, right? But you have to put into the context that the Suns, he has an ultimate green light and plays no defense, and they don't win any games. So a lot of potential. And then this kid puts something back like he stole it. Derrick Jones Jr., and y'all might remember him from the dunk comp, fresh out the D-League. And then sometimes you see, well, why does Zaw get a post-up? It kind of breaks the offense. It's to keep the defense honest, so they can't just hide somebody on him. Then Booker, just like I talked about Iguodala, likes the hand in the face when he's shooting. It actually helps him. And you can tell a lot of these guys have never played against Steph Curry. Look at the separation he gives him. He thinks he's there to recover. It's too late, young man. You can't leave his body. And then this kid on the prowl again, looking like prime Jamario Moon. Shout out to my real NBA heads on that one. But yeah, man, I mean, an impressive leaper from this kid out of the D-League. And then Klay struggled immensely in this first half, so Kerr, to end the half, look at this, draws up this little cookie play, and shame on the Suns. I know y'all are tanking, but that's just embarrassing. You gotta at least fake the effort, right? Here we go. Typical McAdoo runs the court like Tarzan, finishes like Jane. Come on, man, after the dunk we saw in that first quarter, you need to elevate above the rim, Mac. Now I wanna freeze it here. You've got the two greatest shooters in the world getting ready to screen each other. It's just problematic. Look what ends up happening. The backdoor cut and the and one for Klay. But that's just a defensive nightmare when those two come together to set screens. And then P-Mac took over the game. Swiper, no swiping, coast to coast. And this was really rare. I mean, he's been out of the rotation. Now look at him on the weak side. Quickly pulls the trigger. No hesitation from the rookie. Gets the three. And this was like a sequence of 2 minutes straight here where he dominated. Pump fake, slithers, right hand on the left side over the 7-footer. And Patrick McCaw clearly making a statement to Steve Kerr like, hey man, I need some minutes. I know I'm a rook. I know I'm light in the britches, but get me some minutes. Great little stint from Patrick McCaw. And then you see the travel there and Kerr blows a gasket. I know, I mean, this is one of my favorite things as a Warrior fan is when Kerr just loses it. You see the anger. You know, he's a lot like Draymond, more than you would think. Why partly they bump heads is because they're kind of cut from the same cloth. They both can erupt and are highly emotional and competitive. Then you see the kid again, the same dunk. He loves that two-handed big plant. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this kid can ball. Then I see this. There's a reason he tries to dunk everything, y'all. And like I said, JaVale is, I'm telling you, there's an extra chip on his shoulder of like, look at him crush this fool on the block and run the floor. And then Steph, another awkward fall off the layup, and he was chipped up. Kerr had to take a timeout. He's like, you good? The timeout was strictly to let Steph gather himself. Came out and hit another three. It didn't affect his game. And then Matt Barnes, what does he do? Hit timely shots. Hits a nice big three to open up the fourth as Phoenix felt like they had life. And with Draymond gone, look at him, he had to make decisions. And Barnes is at the point in his career, man, where he's got to count his jumps. Like, he's only got so many jumps left in them knees. Jared never had any jumps. But you see Barnes saving his jumps. I guarantee you he'll finish with some dunks in the playoffs. Then Suns turnover, Marquise Chris on the break. And they've cut it to single digits. Timeout Warriors. I like Marquise Chris, another building block for them. And Jared Dudley, 13 points off the bench. He gonna treat himself to some extra snacks after this one, man. I don't know where he came from. And then Clay, like I said, recovered in the second half after a miserable first one, 23 points on the night. Another big three. Credit Phoenix, though. This young team played all the way through. And here we go. 5 points, 40 seconds left. Steph slashes them down the gut to put them away. 42 points, 8 of 13 from behind the arc, 11 assists, but it just took too much juice out of Steph in a meaningless game. I'd like to see him rest Saturday night with KD's return and the #1 seed locked up. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.